Hi future officers, welcome to EduTap and welcome to another important CT360 series session in which we cover the GA and ESI current affairs from the exam point of view. I believe that all of you are really happy, healthy and preparing well for upcoming exams. And my dear friends, जब हम बात करते हैं आज के session की, so today we will be covering the most important current affairs from the date of 15th and 16th of December 2023. And the topic that we will be discussing in the today's session are basically presented here. First of all, we will be covering the topics which are relevant for both phase 1 and 2 of the exams. And after that, we will be covering those topics which will be relevant only for the phase 1 of the exam. For example, we have the Nobel Prize, new PM of Poland, INS Termugli has been commissioned and other important things. So my dear friends, let's begin the session. First of all, with the news articles which are important for the phase 1 as well as the phase 2. And the first topic that we are going to cover here is the measures which have been taken by the government of India to protect the unorganized labor. Let me tell you, my dear friends, that as per the Unorganized Workers Social Security Act 2008, government of India is basically responsible and it is mandated to provide the social security protection to the unorganized workers. And in that particular part, to achieve this objective, Government of India has come up with the various kind of schemes and some of them have been mentioned here as an example. Let me tell you, my dear friends, that today I will only be giving you an overview of these particular schemes, and let me tell you that these schemes will be covered in a detailed manner in the upcoming sessions as well. So do not worry about it. So first of all, we will be covering the important parts about that particular scheme. सबसे पहले अगर हम बात करते हैं कि कौन कौन से सोशल बेनिफिट्स को प्रोवाइड किया जाता है टू द अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड वर्कर्स, दिस इंक्लूड्स बेसिकली गाइस, यू कैन सी हियर द लाइफ एंड डिसेबिलिटी कवर, द मैटरनिटी बेनिफिट्स, health coverage. So all these are the social protections which is being provided to the unorganized workers by the government of India under the Unorganized Worker Social Security Act 2008. I hope that this point is clear to all of you, my dear friends. So now, my dear friends, when I talk about the important schemes that we are required to cover, so the life and disability cover is being provided to these unorganized workers under the Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana and the Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana. अगर हम बात करते हैं जीवन ज्योति बीमा योजना की, that is जीवन की ज्योत, that means our life is really very essential, and in case of death, my dear friends, if a person has got himself insured under this particular scheme, then he will be provided the coverage up to rupees 2 lakhs. And what exactly will be the premium cost, because every insurance comes with the premium cost. So what is that premium cost? That premium cost is rupees 436 per annum. Similarly, my dear friends, when I talk about the accidental death, so accidental death के लिए यहाँ पर हमारे पास है प्रधानमंत्री सुरक्षा बीमा योजना, and the प्रधानमंत्री सुरक्षा बीमा योजना basically provides the 2 lakh risk coverage in the case of accidental death or total permanent disability. And my dear friend, let me tell you that there is another important condition that we are required to remember here is that the case of the partial permanent disability, under which the insured person will be given the risk coverage of up to rupees 1 lakh, and that too at a premium cost of rupees 20 per annum only. So these costs are important, these schemes are important. What is the risk coverage that it is providing? That is also very much important from the exam point of view. I hope that this is clear to all of you. Now when I talk about the health and maternity benefits, so my dear friends, here we have a very important scheme, that is the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, and we all know that this particular scheme provides the rupees 5 lakh per family for the secondary and tertiary health care. So guys, these are the most important one that has been launched, and they are providing the social security benefits to the unorganized workers, and that too under which act? The act is Unorganized Worker Social Security Act 2008. I hope that this is clear to all of you, my dear friends. A very, very important part. Let me tell you that Gurkira sir will be covering these schemes in a detailed manner in the upcoming session, so do not worry about it. They will be covered in a detailed manner as well. Now, my dear friends, apart from that, when I talk about the other old age protection schemes to the unorganized sector workers, so Government of India has come up with a very, very important scheme for that, and that is Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana. And under this particular part, a monthly pension is being provided to these unorganized sector workers, that is rupees 3,000 after attaining, when they will be attaining the age of 60 years. I hope that this point is clear to all of you. So these are the important points that we are required to remember. Some of the schemes we have covered. from the exam point of view, I believe कि ये risk coverages, insurance and the cost, premium cost are very much clear to all of you. Now let's move on to the next important topic of the today's session, that is the Asian Development Outlook. So my dear friends, let me tell you that Asian Development Outlook has been launched by the Asian Development Bank, and it has raised India's fiscal year 24 growth forecast to 6.7%. Earlier, it has basically forecasted it as 6.3% in September 2023, but in the December 2023 edition, it has raised it from 6.3% to 6.7%. And my dear friends, when I talk about for the year 25, it is unchanged at 6.7%. Let me tell you that it has not just only given this particular forecast for India, but apart from that, it has also given it for the Asian region as well. And for the region's growth, it has projected at 4.9% for the year 2023. I hope that this is clear to all of you. Okay, and it has basically been increased from 4.7% earlier. I hope that this point is clear to all of you. Now, my dear friend, there is another important point that if you guys remember, रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया उन्होंने भी यहां पर रिसेंटली रिवाइज किया था इस जीडीपी ग्रोथ फोरकास्ट को इंडिया की, एंड इट हैज रेज्ड इट टू 7% फ्रॉम 6.5% फॉर द फिस्कल ईयर 2024. I hope that these percentages are really very much clear to all of you. Let me tell you that what exactly was the reason behind that. So ADB has cited that we have experienced double-digit growth in the industrial sector like manufacturing, mining, mills, so all such kind of things, the construction activities, so all such kind of activities under the industrial sector, they have experienced a double-digit growth, and that is the reason it has raised its GDP growth forecast for fiscal year 24 for India from 6.3% to 6.7%. I hope this point is clear to all of you. Now guys, let's move on to the third important topic of our session, that is a report which has been titled as the Logistic Cost in India Assessment and Long-Term Framework. We all know guys that World Bank ने एक Logistic Performance Index को launch किया था, and similarly let me tell you that उसी logistics की जो कॉस्ट है इंडिया के अंदर उसको रिड्यूस करने के लिए दिस पर्टिकुलर काइंड ऑफ रिपोर्ट हैज बीन लॉन्च्ड, एंड एज यू कैन सी दैट दिस रिपोर्ट विल बी कंट्रीब्यूटिंग टुवर्ड्स द अचीविंग द टारगेट ऑफ रिड्यूसिंग द लॉजिस्टिक कॉस्ट इन इंडिया. तो यहां पर सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है कि इसको प्रिपेयर किसने किया है, इसको रिलीज किसने किया है, और इस रिपोर्ट ने क्या प्रेजेंट किया है. लेट मी टेल यू गाइस दैट इट इज बीन प्रिपेयर्ड बाय द NCAER, दैट इज द नेशनल काउंसिल ऑफ अप्लाइड इकोनॉमिक रिसर्च, एंड इन्होंने लॉजिस्टिक कॉस्ट को एस्टिमेट किया है इंडिया की एट 7.8% to 8.9%. आई होप दैट यू विल remember this particular numbers as well. Apart from that, अगर हम बात करते हैं इस रिपोर्ट को लॉन्च किसने किया है, so it was launched by Logistic Division Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And guys, this particular report presents a baseline aggregated logistic cost estimate, and it also recommends the framework for a long-term logistic cost calculation. तो यहाँ पर एक baseline aggregate हमें बनाना है और साथ ही साथ एक long-term logistic cost calculation का एक framework भी हमें setup करना है. And this report presents this particular two parts. Apart from that, अगर हम बात करते हैं national logistic policy की, तो national logistic policy को government ने किस year के अंदर launch किया था? It was launched in year 2022 by the government of India, and once again the key aim of it was to reduce the logistic cost in India, and that is the reason that this particular report has been launched, and it has also given some recommendations which are being presented here, as this report presents that it recommends a hybrid approach in which we will be using the primary and the secondary survey data. तो primary और secondary survey data को इस्तेमाल किया जाएगा in order to provide the estimates of the logistic cost, और logistic cost को estimate निकालना काफी जरूरी है, so that we can analyze and we can reduce this cost in the upcoming a part of the time. I hope that this point is clear. So my dear friend, that was the last topic from the ESI part, and now we will be covering those topics which are only relevant for the phase 1 of the exam. And the very first topic is the prize, which is the NEOM prize, which has been recently provided, which has been awarded to the Mumbai-based professor. The name of the person is the Savita Ladage. So you can see here the name of the person. The organization which gives this particular award is Royal Society of the Chemistry, and she has been given this particular award for her advocacy of the significance of chemical education. तो chemical education को इन्होंने promote किया है, उसको बढ़ावा दिया है, and that is the reason that she has been awarded with this particular prize. Let me tell you guys that ये जो Excellence in Education prize है, it celebrates inspirational, innovative and dedicated people. जो लोग innovative हैं, dedicated हैं अपने इस काम के लिए, and basically across the different domains, that is working in primary, secondary and further education as well as the higher education. So all these people are being basically given this particular award. And let me tell you also another important point, that people in the history who have been awarded this with award, basically in the future they were recognized with the Nobel Prize as well. So my dear friends, we hope that definitely she will also get the Nobel Prize in the upcoming future. But for now, let us move on to the next news article, and that is basically from the person in news. So basically recently new prime minister has been elected in the Poland, and the name of that particular person is Donald Tusk. He will be replacing this particular person because this particular person has lost the confidence vote in its parliament, and that is the reason that the new person who has been elected as the prime minister is Donald Tusk of the Poland. Poland की अगर हम बात करते हैं, its capital is Warsaw and the currency is Polish zloty. I hope this point is clear to all of you. Moving on to the next important part. So the next important part is the ship that is Tarmugli, which was been recently commissioned. It was being commissioned in Visakhapatnam. And guys, INS, Indian Navy commissioned INS Tarmugli. Let me tell you guys that this ship is the same ship which was being gifted to the Maldivian Naval Defense Forces, and then it was being returned to India. It has been reincarnated into this INS Tarmugli, which has been recently commissioned in the Visakhapatnam. So this was a trivia regarding this particular ship. I hope this point is clear, guys. Let's move on to the next part. The next and the other important news article for the today is the National Conservation Award and the National Conservation Day. So National Conservation Awards were being presented by the President of India on the occasion of National Conservation Day, which is celebrated on 14th of December. So यहाँ पर आपको डेट याद रखनी है कि 14th of December is the important part. And let me tell you that ये जो award ceremony है और जो conservation day को बनाया जाता है, it is being organized by the Bureau of Energy Efficiency. I hope that this point is clear, guys. It is basically under the Ministry of Power, Government of India. So that was the important part that we are required to cover from this particular news article. Let me tell you कि ये जो हमारे National Energy Conservation Awards है, basically 63 prizes were being given under this particular award, and that is why we are not just required to just cover all of them from the exam point of view. Okay, only this much information is required to be covered from the exam point of view. Moving on to the next part. So next part is basically recently a world record, Guinness World Record has been made. In which part? In the reading activity. The largest reading activity was being organized on 14th of December at SP College in the Pune, and with this particular part, under this part, what exactly has happened? 3066 parents have read to their children to promote the reading culture in the society. So that is the reason, my dear friends, that this particular part has been done, and where it has happened at SP College Pune. और इसको organize किसने किया था? It was being organized by National Book Trust India along with the Pune Municipal Corporation. So these are the important points that we are required to cover from here. And now, my dear friends, the most important part is practicing this particular part, that whether we have analyzed and whether we have gained all the important information or not. And for that particular part, let us just solve some MCQs which are based on that particular information that we have covered. The first question is on a screen, a very easy question. The question is basically on the person who has been awarded the Nyong Prize by the Royal Society of Chemistry. What is the right answer? Right answer is option A, that is Savita Ladage. Next question. So next question is basically on the schemes which has been launched by the government for the unorganized laborers. You are required to identify the correct statement. ठीक है जी? So basically guys, यहाँ पर आपको incorrect statement आप इसको कर लीजिए. Do not worry, I will be covering that in the PDF as well. So पहली statement है that प्रधानमंत्री जीवन ज्योति बीमा योजना is basically providing risk coverage of 2 lakhs at a premium cost of 436. Which is absolutely right. Second statement, the risk coverage under the Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana is 2 lakh in cases of accidental death. But what exactly is the premium cost? That is rupees 10 per annum. But as per our discussion, it was not the 10, it was 20 per annum. That is why this statement is absolutely incorrect. Third statement is Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. It provides health insurance coverage up to 5 lakh per family. Statement 4 states that Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana to provide a monthly pension of rupees 3,000 per after attaining the age of 60 years. Once again, that is absolutely right. So right answer to the question is option D, that is only statement 2. Moving on to third statement question, guys. So here the question is basically on a very easier line, that what is the GDP growth forecast of India as per the ADB ADO, that is Asian Development Outlook, जो launch किया है ADB ने. So what is the right answer? Right answer is option C, that is 6.7%. Very easy part. Now guys, when I talk about the homework question from the previous session, the homework question from the previous session was basically, we will be discussing that in the upcoming part, but before that, the homework question for the today's session is here, and all of you are required to answer those questions in the comment section. So what exactly is the homework question for the today's session? The question is basically National Energy Conservation Day कब celebrate किया जाता है, and the second question is basically on the report that we have covered, that is the logistic cost in India assessment and long-term framework, and you have to identify which statement is incorrect with respect to this particular report. So please pause it and make sure that you are answering the question in the comment section, and then only we will get to know that whether you have got all the important information from the session or not. And when I talk about the question from the previous session, guys, so the right answer to the question number 6 was option D, that is 75 in 2030, and the next question was basically on the Global River Alliance, or yahan the right answer was option B, absolutely. Only second statement was incorrect. So all the people who have answered these questions correctly, they are the champions of the previous session, and I want all of you to become the champion of this session, and you will become champion by giving me the right answer to these questions in the comment section. And guys, if you're still new to your YouTube channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us. And you can join our Telegram channel to get the access to the PDF of these sessions, जिसका link आपको मिलेगा description के अंदर. So my dear friends, that was all from the today's session. I believe कि आज का session काफी useful and fruitful रहा होगा आप सभी के लिए. And if you have any queries, do not worry. Just post down your queries in the comment section, and we will be resolving all your queries there as well. And you can always share your queries at hello@edutap.co.in as well. So my dear friends, thank you for joining us. Wish you all happy learning.